Welcome back to the channel, and so soon. So today's another Lather Games proof video of products used, and today's criteria on the calendar is to use products that are found in drugstores, so widely available things, cheap things. So today I will be using, and the catch is, the challenge that goes along with the daily criteria is I can only talk about the positive things about this experience. So this will be interesting. I can't say a negative thing about it. That's the challenge, or I lose the challenge. So today I'm going to be using something I don't normally like very much, but I've relegated it to a pre-shave soap, and this is William's mug. Something that has become kind of a rite of passage. Can you lather it? Can you not lather it? A lot of people give up and don't do it. A lot of people say, oh, you just got to do this, and then they have this like 20-minute long ritual to get a decent lather out of it. I usually don't bother with it. Sometimes it's pretty slick, just the soap residue on its own. But I find it's almost just like shaving with normal bar soap. It just kind of foams up and isn't really stable at all. But we're going to try it again today, and I'm going to be using. This is one of the leftovers from my original shave kit, my Vanderhagen mug, which is actually a pretty decent mug. But I got my Samoga 830 board brush soaking in it, and probably my favorite grocery store, drugstore aftershave, Aqua Velva Ice Blue. Perfect time of year for that. And for the balm, it's a sensitive skin aftershave lotion from Gillette. I've had this forever and it's almost gone, so I'll probably toss it. Who knows if it's even good anymore? We'll see. And for the shaving tool today, some unbranded cart razor. This is the thing I'm most apprehensive about. Now, I do have a brush that can be bought in a drugstore, but is currently has been taken apart. This is my original Vanderhagen Pure Badger brush. I drilled out the Knox is awful. I haven't used this in years. I actually used it a few weeks ago for one of my shaves just to revisit and see how bad it truly was, and it was just as awful as I remembered it. The problem with these is that the badger hair is clipped, so the tips are just very like, you know how hair is right when you get a haircut, like I just did. It's kind of like just prickly, sticky, not soft at all, and irritating, and that's the way this was. So I took it out, and I bought this Timberwolf knot from Maggard's, and I measured the hole and everything after I drilled it out, and was pretty sure a 24 millimeter knot would fit into it. And this 24 millimeter knot does not fit into it. I actually sanded away some of the sides of the plug here, and it doesn't evenly sit in there. So I may either have to get a 22 millimeter and put it in there and use this for something else, but since I've sanded it, this is probably useless now. But I gotta say, this knot feels pretty good, so I would use this today if I had been able to attach it, but no dice. So I'm gonna have to use my other board brush today. So I'm going to get started here in just a second and get some prep going. We're going to use this as a pre-shave on my face first, and then try to lather it up, so don't go away. All right, here it goes. I'm just gonna. I don't even normally use this as a pre-shave. I just do sometimes. The scent is so innocuous that it doesn't really affect anything. Wet it again. I find you have to use a ton of this to make even some semblance of a lather. And some people may have an easier time than others just because of their water hardness or softness, whatever that is. I don't know. I know I've never been able to get anything stable, but we'll see if today changes. And once this gets going, I can't say anything negative about it. So far it's making a very pasty coating. So I will have to wet this again. I was going to put the soap in the mug, but it's so loose and knocks around and makes noise, so I'm just going to do this. I hope this is enough. Let's see if it is, shall we? That's so dry. I've got to say, this brush, it has a ton of backbone when dry, but when it gets wet, it gets pretty floppy. Once it broke in anyway. It looks pretty dry, so I'm going to wet some more. A little bit. And so far, this is probably a better lather than I've ever. I mean, it doesn't look good, obviously, but it's compared to what I normally use. But this looks pretty good for what compared to how I've tried to use this stuff in the past. So maybe I'm doing something different here. It's actually not bad. Try a little more water. And I'm wondering, have I controlled the water better? What have I done different? I know early on I did not load enough, but later on when I loaded more, the lather would just disappear. I don't know. A little more water and then we're gonna call it. Somebody's turned some water on somewhere in the house. Alright, I think I'm going to call it there. Not bad at all. I will be careful right here. I'm probably not going to shave that spot because if you noticed, I've had some irritation there the last 2 days from shaving daily. I'm just not used to it, and I had a lapse in technique, so it's just not doing so great there. And I've had a little bit of an outbreak right there. So that's why I'm nervous about this. But if this turns out to if this is too dull, I think I've used it one other time traveling. It wasn't that great. So if it turns out to be too dull, I'm switching to a safety razor. The criteria wasn't necessarily to use a razor, but I wanted to get as much drugstore products as possible. So, okay, let's see if we can do this. And so far, it is not cutting. Well, going to switch to a safety razor. Be right back. Using what I used yesterday, my Razor Rock Mamba, since it's so mild. And the difference is night and day. It just wouldn't cut. I wanted to use it and stay more true to drugstore products, but just couldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Slickness is there. I can't say it's ever been there when I use it alone. So that's good. I gotta say, I'm surprised. This is the best shave I've had with it ever. And look, I don't know what I did wrong. Did different. Huh, this is surprising. Do a little cleanup pass on my cheeks here, but I'm gonna call it on my neck. And should be about done. Alright, we'll be back for the post-shave routine and talk about the results. So, another drugstore find. You can find this in some drugstores. It's an alum block, but it's advertised as a crystal body deodorant stick. It's the same thing. It's just in a little more convenient case here. Screw-on lid, so that's pretty nice. Doesn't really work well as deodorant for me. But you say, why are you putting a deodorant stick on your face? Well, you just wash it off and the layer comes off. So, just repurposed it. There's a little sting here, and I had irritation there anyway, so it's to be expected. You can see it, and I didn't really go over that spot right there, but it looks red. But that wasn't really from this shave. That was already there, so the rest of my face is fine. And for Williams, I can't really complain. I mean, now I know. I mean, will I start using this regularly? No, I have tons more products that are better. I'd be stupid to revert to that, but I mean, if Williams is your thing, you're not stupid for using it. I have so much that I've spent, there's just no reason for me to go back. But if the apocalypse happens and that's all I can get, now I know I can actually use it. So that's the positive takeaway today. This was an Astro blade inside this razor, by the way. First use. That does not look good, does it? Probably gonna have to put some alum on it tonight before I go to bed. That will help get rid of it, and I'll have to put some benzoyl peroxide on it, most likely. So I woke up that way. Must not have exfoliated properly yesterday, or if at all. I don't even know if I did yesterday or not. But I had some acne come up, and that's just not good. Could also have been from the mask that I wear, which I only wear one time before I wash them again. And I don't know. Could be any number of things. Another drugstore product that I use pretty much every day, even if I don't shave. Very good for killing stuff that's gotten on your face and help sanitize things, and it's a good astringent. Now for some Aqua Velva. I would like for this to be reformulated into something a little more skin food friendly, but there are ways you can doctor up your aftershaves to be more skin food friendly by adding like glycerin and witch hazel and stuff like that to it. I may try to figure that out and do it myself. Good cooling sensation, not too cold. A little bit of a burn right there. Now to see if this stuff works. And it is not. Yeah, see, it's so old that it's coming out kind of like, doesn't have that smooth look to it. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like Crisco or something. It's kind of slimy. I'm not using it. I'm tossing it. That goes in the trash. I will use something that I bought recently. It is widely available at drugstores. From a Balm. And Nivea Sensitive Cool. A very good pairing with Aqua Velva. Since Aqua Velva is kind of drying, this is a good follow-up. And it also has even more cooling properties. I enjoy this balm a lot. I still like artisan balms on the whole better, but this is probably the best one you can find in a store. That and Aqua Velva Balm is very good. I like Aqua Velva Balm a lot. I'm almost out of Aqua Velva Balm actually. Well, there you have it. Really can't complain too much. Much better than I expected. Certainly doesn't measure up to the artisan soaps, really even the most typical of them, but you can get it done. And maybe I hurried my technique a little bit because this is not feeling so great, but other than that, good. What more is there to say? Other than if you like the video, please comment or like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.